I imagine myself old, in a house without furniture, with lots of white spaces, and soft sofas like plasma that adapt to the shape of your body as soon as you sit down. Very minimal in the rarefied vacuum of postmodernity. Yet you only have to touch the walls to open bookcases, turn on cookers, find computers projecting their screens in mid-air. The world, now that we are in 2070, has taken on magical dimensions. Rather now it is simply biotechnology. People have agreed to have the internet installed in their brains so that they live between two worlds, the increasingly rarefied real world and the increasingly solid cyber world. The mobile phone is but a memory. All it takes is a thought, and your interlocutor appears in front of you in 3D in a hologrammatic projection. Science has long since discovered that a thought is energy that can be traced by field mapping, and that illness is lack of energy. So that even medicine now effects cures through pure mental vibrations. We live among electromagnetic waves, picked up by fluid receptors running through our veins. This is why the government can also dictate our general mood. Hatred, aggression, rebellion have all been erased. A great central aerial has turned our bodies into docile slaves. We are all as if domesticated, reduced to a serene, conflict-free life. We live, or rather survive, in a kind of peaceful, homeopathic state, a very new age coexistence. So why does it all seem like nonsense to me, a white-haired old lady? Peace cannot be achieved through a kind of collective trance. I remember how the sleep of society was implemented through progressive hypnosis. It all started in the digital age of the first decades of the 2000s. Then came the wave of pandemics that, whether man-made or natural, turned what was the exception into the rule. The lockdowns, the tanks in the street, and neighbors report if you fell out of line, life turned into a battleground, with real armed conflicts for the states that refused to bend to the new telematic ethos. In the end, for the sake of our neighbors and our health, we agreed to have microchips implanted in us that would inform us when we were far enough away from others to avoid infection. Otherwise, you would be in for a small electroshock. But in this way, the government had begun to monitor our movements, to record our coming and goings, and it all came to a head quickly, until we longed for this technological revolution that was hitherto unacceptable to our ancient principles of freedom and privacy. Everyone, in the name of returning to a supposed normality, has agreed to sell out their principles. Except, that is, for a few hardened anarchists like me. I illegally transferred my chip to my maid, who has been living in South America for years now, and so far, no one seems to have noticed. I am free to be nobody. This is the only way I could stay true to myself. Locked in my big house, I live in the shadow of my children, who are its only other inhabitants.